On today's episode, we are looking at the finances of a married couple. The husband is 88 and the wife is 64. They are retired with 2 kids. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Itumeleng. I'm a qualified management accountant, and on this channel, I help ordinary people like you learn how to start saving money, get out of debt, invest, and ultimately build wealth. If that is something you're interested in, please do subscribe and become a part of our growing rich family. Now let's see the finances of our retired couple, starting with their monthly income. Their monthly income is 0. They don't have any income because they are in retirement. Now let's look at their savings and investments as well as their debt balances. Under savings and investments, they have some money that they put aside for their new house, and that is 3 million rands. They have some DIY shares. The balance there is 5,700,000 rands, and other shares with an asset management firm sitting at a balance of 3.3 million. Cash for living expenses is 1,600,000, and then they have the old house that they are currently living in. The value of the house is 1,500,000 rands. They are going to sell it when they buy the new house. They have a rental property that is also on the market with the old house. The value of the rental property is 700,000 rands. In total, their savings and investments are sitting at a balance of 15,800,000 rands. So they are anticipating to receive around 2.2 million from the sale of those 2 properties, and they said, we don't know what to do with the money, in terms of where should we keep it when we receive the 2.2 million rand. What should we do? And their son was with them in the consultation. The son is the one that manages the family finances. He said, you know what, I'm thinking of putting the 2.2 million into shares, our DIY shares. As you've seen, the market has been dipping, so I think it would be a wonderful opportunity to buy more shares. What happened with my parents is they had a small family business. It was really nothing huge, just a small shop that was able to raise me and my sister. And when they retired in 2020, they were able to sell the business for 6 million rands. I don't know how they were able to sell it for 6 million rands. I think we got lucky, but the amount that we received for our business was 6 million rands. 6 million rands only. Now we are sitting at a balance of 15.8 million rands, and it was even more than that because they're currently living off some of this money, but the amount that they started with was 6 million rands in 2020, and they trusted their son with this money. They showed it to him and said, this is the amount of money we have, to last us our whole lifetime. What do you think we should do with it? They say the son then took it upon himself to research and find out how he could split the money. He says he put a big chunk of the 6 million on the stock market, around 5.5 million, and only left with 500,000 rands in cash. He put 5.5 million in the stock market in 2020 when everything was falling apart, when everything was cheap. He says he bought a lot of tech shares and some healthcare companies here and there, and from there the money just multiplied from 2020 until now, to a point where they were able to withdraw some of the money and be at a point where now they can have the 3 million rands that they have now to buy a new house, so that the parents can move to a more comfortable house that has better facilities for their age. So after seeing what the stock market can do, the son says, I think the 2.2 million should go on the stock market because the stock market multiplies money. In 5 years, this money will be much more than 2.2 million, especially now, like I said, it's a good time to buy. It's almost like 2020 all over again. And I understand the urge to put the money on the stock market because it can be addictive. Those of you that have some money on the stock market, once you see it grow, you get addicted. You just want to keep putting in more money so that it can keep multiplying. I understand that, and I also agree that because of what is currently happening on the market, it's a really good time, to buy more shares. but your father is 88 and your mom is 64. These are elders and they already have 9 million on the stock market. Already, that is more than they should have at this point, because the only amount we have in cash is 1.6 million. That's not enough. That's a lot of money at risk, because we know as much as the stock market multiplies money, for their age, they shouldn't be taking that much risk. What would be ideal for their age is to have a healthy split between the stock market and some money in cash. What I would recommend is a 50-50 split. Have 50% in shares on the stock market and 50% in cash. So when we receive the 2.2 million, we are going to hold on tight to it in cash. And what we are going to go about it is split the cash as well. Split 1 to 3 years of expenses and put that money in a high interest bank account or on the money market. That's going to make sure that the money is easily accessible, but is also accumulating interest month on month or year on year. And the rest of the cash you can put in a notice account, because at this age, capital preservation is very important. As much as the stock market is all fun, it's all multiplying, we have 9 million. That 9 million on the stock market is going to continue to compound, but we will also have a healthy amount of cash that our elders can be able to continue to live on while the shares are doing their own up and down. Otherwise, a stunning portfolio. We just need to be careful not to risk it all on the stock market. I said to the son, you are still young. Granted, you have done a stunning job in managing their finances, making sure that their money is growing. But at this point, no more shares for our couple here. If you want shares, if you spot some nice shares that you want to buy those in your name, buy those in your own portfolio, buy those for your sister. Help your sister also buy those shares. But there comes a point where the stock market cannot be all you put your money into. We are going to continue with a 50-50 split. It's not even going to be 50-50 because we have so much in shares, but the 3.8 million that we'll be able to have in cash should just stay that way. And even though the son has a really high risk tolerance, I think putting the 2.2 million in cash will also give him some peace of mind, knowing that even if the market crashes, his parents will still be able to continue for a lot of years before they need their money that is in shares. Now debt balances, debt is 0 as they should. That's good. Love that for them. Now let us look at their monthly expenses. Groceries, 6,000 rands. Takeouts, 1,500 rands. Electricity, 2,000 rands. Rates, 1,600 rands. Toiletries, 1,500 rands. Petrol, 1,500 rands. They have 2 cars. They are fully paid off. Car insurance, 700 rands. Tracker, 300 rands. Doctors and medicine, 2,000 rands. Medical aid, 7,000 rands. Helper, 5,000 rands. Donations, 3,000 rands. That's a healthy amount in donations, and I love it for them. They said, yeah, we like to be generous. We are in a position where we can be as generous as we want, and I love it. I love this couple. Car maintenance, 500 rands. Property maintenance, 500 rands. Pets, 1,000 rands. YouTube Premium, 150 rands. DSTV, 150 rands. ChatGPT Plus, 400 rands. Finance Newsletter, 250 rands. This is for the son. He says he receives a particular finance newsletter, and it's the one that helps him stay on top of the family finances. Since he is the accountant of the family, this is, his professional subscription. Bank charges, 170 rands. Life cover for mom, 750 rands. Dad is too old, he can't be covered. Wi-Fi, 900 rands in total. Their monthly expenses are 36,870 rands. When I did the math on their current portfolio of 16 million rands, if they continue to spend this amount of 36,800 rands, that amount of 16 million rands would take them 36 years. They'd be able to live on that money for 36 years. And that is assuming that the money would remain 16,000 rands. And we know that in a high interest account, in a fixed deposit account, on the money market, And also on the stock market, that money is going to continue to multiply. So our lovely couple here is going to be able to enjoy their retirement comfortably. They are now going to move into a new house with nice things, everything that they've ever dreamt of, and they're in a position to give, to make donations as much as they want, and they'll be able to do that until the rest of their lives. That depends on how old they live, but based on statistics, they should be able to, be comfortable until the very end, and even be in a position to pass down some of that wealth to their kids. And they have empowered their kids to start investing early so that they get to a point where they can be in a position where, they even exceed their parents. Because like I said, the parents only started being on the stock market 6 years ago in 2020, when their son did the research and learned that if you put money on the stock market, it can do big things. So they were not really looking for any guidance. They say they watch this show every single Sunday. That warmed my heart. They said they watched the show every single Sunday, and they just wanted to come out and say to the people that buy BMWs and iPhones that there's life beyond all of that, and that we should stay out of the pandemics and enter the stock market. So I hope they have inspired you as much as they inspired me. They literally just came out of their retirement bubble to come out and inspire you guys. So please show them some love. This couple is a part of our rich family, and I've seen my demographic stats. I have a little bit of the 70 plus people. So if you're in retirement, if you're elderly on this channel, please let me know in the comments. If you're able to comment, if you have a grandchild that comments for you, please let them type for you. And to the rest of our rich family, I hope you found value in this episode. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I hope you have a rich day.